The concept of the chosen ones has been around since the beginning of time. From the biblical tales of prophets and messengers chosen by the divine, to the heroes and demigods of Greek mythology, and through the enlightened beings of Eastern philosophies, the notion that certain individuals are selected for a greater purpose has always fascinated and, paradoxically, often incited hatred among the masses. Have you ever experienced this weird sense of distance between you and others, or have you felt as though you aren't able to properly connect with most individuals? This is a common occurrence for chosen ones, but why is it then that these chosen ones are disliked and sometimes even hated by others? Part 1. The roots of hatred. At the heart of this disdain lies the complex interplay of identity, projection, and the human struggle with the concept of fate and free will. The stories of the chosen ones, regardless of their origin, share a common theme. They are set apart by some force, be it destiny, divine will, or exceptional talent. This separation is not merely a physical or social distance, but an existential gap that challenges the very notion of equality and fairness that many societies strive to uphold. In order to simplify this so that it can be understood more easily, one might find insights within the parable of the prodigal son found in the Christian Bible. The resentment the elder brother feels towards his younger sibling upon the latter's celebrated return mirrors the animosity some feel towards the chosen ones. It's a tale that illustrates that there is a profound sense of injustice and unrecognition, themes that resonate deeply with the human experience of feeling overshadowed or undervalued. Philosopher Jean-Paul Sartre, with his existentialist lens, might argue that this animosity stems from a confrontation with one's own freedom and responsibility. The chosen ones, by embodying a path of distinctiveness or higher calling, inadvertently highlight the choices and potential each individual possesses. This realization can be unsettling, prompting a defensive reaction that manifests as hostility. Similarly, in Eastern philosophies, the concept of bodhisattvas, beings who choose to forego nirvana in order to save others, highlights the altruistic path of the chosen ones. Yet even these figures of compassion are not immune to being misunderstood or envied for their spiritual attainment and dedication. The Mahayana Sutras, texts central to Mahayana Buddhism, discuss the trials and tribulations these enlightened beings face, including the skepticism and sometimes outright hostility from those they seek to help. It's crucial to understand that the animosity towards the chosen ones is not merely a tale of comparison. It's also a narrative about fear, fear of change, fear of the unknown, and fear of being left behind. In many stories and mythologies, the chosen ones are harbingers of transformation, challenging the status quo and forcing societies and individuals to confront their deeply held beliefs and ways of life. Part 2. Resentment towards the chosen ones. Resentment is a shadow that often walks hand in hand with admiration in the human psyche. This duality becomes particularly pronounced in the context of the chosen ones, individuals perceived to possess exceptional qualities or destinies. At its core, resentment towards the chosen ones can be seen as a manifestation of unfulfilled desires and unmet expectations within ourselves. It's a complex emotion that blends jealousy, envy, and a sense of injustice into a potent cocktail of discontent. This feeling is not merely about wanting what the chosen ones have, it's about questioning why we are not in their place, why we are not seen as special or chosen. The teachings of Buddhism offer an illuminating perspective on this issue, emphasizing the concept of mudita, or sympathetic joy. This principle encourages rejoicing in the success and happiness of others, arguing that resentment arises from a place of attachment and desire, the desire to be in someone else's position, to have their recognition, or to possess their qualities. According to this view, the path to overcoming resentment lies in cultivating a sense of interconnectedness and joy in the achievements of others, recognizing that their success does not diminish our own worth. French philosopher René Girard's theory of mimetic desire provides another lens through which to view this phenomenon. Girard suggests that human desires are imitative. We desire what others desire because they desire it. In the context of the chosen ones, this theory implies that resentment may stem from a deeper mimetic rivalry. We do not just resent the chosen ones for what they have or are, we resent them because they represent what society values, and thus what we feel we should also desire and strive for. This creates a cycle of desire and resentment, fueled not by personal inadequacies, but by societal constructs of worth and success. In grappling with these dimensions of resentment, we confront not only the shadowy aspects of our nature, but also the societal and cultural frameworks that shape our perceptions of value and success. The story of the chosen ones and the resentment they evoke reflects deeper questions about fairness, worth, and the metrics by which we measure our lives and the lives of others. Part 3. The mirror effect. They see in you what they can't see in themselves. The intricate dance between admiration and resentment towards the chosen ones often leads us to a profound psychological phenomenon known as the mirror effect. This effect reveals how our reactions to others serve as reflections of our inner world, highlighting aspects of ourselves that we are either unaware of or choose to ignore. The chosen ones, by virtue of their perceived special status or achievements, inadvertently hold up a mirror to the deepest insecurities, unacknowledged desires, and unfulfilled potential of others. The mirror effect is rooted in the concept of projection, a defense mechanism identified by Sigmund Freud, where individuals attribute their own undesirable feelings and thoughts to someone else. The chosen ones, by embodying characteristics or achieving feats that others have only dreamed of or perhaps never dared to dream, become unwitting screens onto which these repressed desires and fears are projected. This dynamic not only exacerbates feelings of inadequacy and resentment, but also distorts the relationship between the observer and the observed, making it difficult for genuine appreciation or empathy to flourish. Moreover, the mirror effect resonates deeply with the Jungian idea of the shadow self, the aspect of our personality that we deny or repress because it contains elements we believe to be negative. The chosen ones, in their distinction, unwittingly illuminate the shadows of those around them. This unintended confrontation with the shadow self can be deeply uncomfortable, triggering a defensive response that often manifests as hostility or rejection. The tale of Cain and Abel, another parable steeped in the symbolism of the mirror effect, further illustrates the destructive power of repressed desires and the projection of one's shadow onto another. In this story, Cain, the elder brother, becomes the embodiment of envy and resentment towards Abel, whose offerings are favored by God. This preference not only ignites Cain's jealousy, but also mirrors back to him his own feelings of inadequacy and the darker aspects of his psyche that he refuses to acknowledge. Cain's inability to confront and integrate these shadow aspects of himself leads to the ultimate act of violence, the murder of his brother. This act is a physical manifestation of Cain's inner turmoil and a tragic attempt to annihilate the mirror reflecting his inadequacies and unfulfilled desires. The story underscores the devastating impact of projecting one's own negative attributes onto others, a theme that resonates with the psychological concepts introduced by Freud and expanded upon by Jung. This reflection is not limited to negative aspects. It also pertains to the potential for greatness within each person, which, when unacknowledged or unfulfilled, can turn into a source of pain when observed in another. The chosen ones, in living out their purpose or calling, remind others of what could have been if they had taken a different path, dared more boldly, or believed more deeply in their own potential. Understanding the mirror effect requires a journey inward, a willingness to confront the parts of ourselves that we have ignored or suppressed. It challenges us to question the origins of our resentment and to consider whether our reactions to the chosen ones are actually about them or about our own inner conflicts and unrealized dreams. Part 4. envy and its spiritual implications. This feeling, more profound and complex than mere jealousy, strikes at the heart of our spiritual journey and human experience. Envy, unlike jealousy, does not simply desire what another has. It harbors a deep resentment towards the other for possessing it. In the context of the chosen ones, envy is not just about their gifts, opportunities, or achievements, but a profound discomfort with the very essence of their being chosen. Envy, unlike jealousy, does not stem from the fear of losing something we have to another, but from coveting what someone else possesses. This subtle but significant distinction makes envy a mirror reflecting our own perceived inadequacies and unfulfilled desires. The chosen ones, with their exceptional qualities or destinies, can inadvertently highlight these feelings, serving as beacons that draw out our latent envy. From a spiritual perspective, envy can be seen as a symptom of a deeper disconnect from our true essence and purpose. Many spiritual traditions speak of the innate wholeness and perfection of the soul, suggesting that envy arises from a forgetfulness of our divine nature. In this light, the chosen ones are not so much the cause of our envy, but the catalysts that reveal our distance from our spiritual center. The teachings of mysticism offer valuable insights into transcending envy. Mystics from various traditions emphasize the unity of all existence and the illusion of separateness. In the context of envy, this wisdom invites us to recognize the oneness we share with the chosen ones. Their achievements and qualities, rather than being sources of envy, can be seen as manifestations of the same divine spark that resides within us all. This perspective encourages a shift from comparison to unity, from envy to celebration of the multifaceted expressions of the divine. Furthermore, the spiritual practice of gratitude plays a crucial role in transforming envy. By fostering an attitude of gratitude for our own journey and blessings, we recalibrate our focus from what we lack to what we possess. This shift not only diminishes the power of envy, but also opens our hearts to a deeper appreciation of the interconnectedness of all life. The chosen ones in this context become teachers who, through the mirror of envy, guide us back to a state of gratitude and connection. The philosophical tradition offers insights into the nature of envy as well. Aristotle, in his Nicomachean Ethics, distinguishes between envy and emulation, suggesting that the latter, a noble striving to improve oneself, can be a positive response to witnessing excellence. This perspective invites a reconsideration of envy not as an inevitable condemnation, but as a crossroads where one can choose a path of self-improvement and inspiration rather than resentment and despair. Envy, in the shadow of the chosen ones, reveals the intricacies of our self-worth and the fragile nature of our identity when it is tied to external validation. The spiritual journey in many ways is about transcending these external dependencies to find a deeper, unshakable sense of self and purpose. The chosen ones, by embodying a certain detachment from worldly accolades in pursuit of their higher calling, inadvertently highlight the chains of envy that bind others to a perpetual state of discontent. Part 5. The hate becomes confirmation. The progression through the emotional and spiritual challenges posed by the chosen ones brings us to a critical juncture. When unaddressed, the combination of envy, resentment, and misunderstanding can combine into hate. This stage, where hate becomes a form of confirmation, marks a pivotal moment in our exploration. It reflects a point where the negative emotions toward the chosen ones are no longer just reactions, but have transformed into a worldview that validates and perpetuates itself. Hate, in this context, is not just an intense dislike, but a lens through which the individuals see the chosen ones. It becomes a confirmation bias where every action or success of the chosen ones is interpreted as further evidence of their presumed undeserved status or the observer's perceived inadequacy. This selective perception and interpretation serve to reinforce the initial feelings of resentment and envy, creating a feedback loop that is difficult to break. It is not merely a matter of personal animosity, but becomes a shared narrative within communities or societies that either elevates the chosen ones to a status beyond saving or vilifies them beyond redemption. The spiritual teachings across various traditions offer insights into breaking this cycle of hate and confirmation. The concept of radical acceptance, found in both Buddhist teachings and modern psychological therapies, suggests a way forward. It involves accepting reality as it is, without judgment, which can help to diffuse the automatic negative reactions that feed into confirmation bias. This acceptance does not mean agreement or resignation, but rather a recognition of the present moment and the complex interplay of factors that shape individual destinies, including those of the chosen ones. From a spiritual perspective, this stage offers a profound opportunity for growth, albeit through challenging terrain. Many spiritual traditions teach that love is the antidote to hate, proposing that understanding, forgiveness and compassion can dissolve even the most entrenched negativity. This principle suggests that the path to overcoming the hate that has become confirmation involves a radical act of empathy, both for the chosen ones and for oneself. Moreover, engaging with the teachings on impermanence, such as those found in Buddhism, can also provide valuable insights. Understanding that states of being, including our perceptions and emotions, are transient can help loosen the grip of hate. This awareness encourages a more fluid and open approach to our experiences and the people who trigger strong reactions in us. Continuing with the theme of overcoming hate through understanding and compassion, we can draw inspiration from the life and teachings of Soren Kierkegaard, a 19th century philosopher. Kierkegaard, often considered the father of existentialism, delved deeply into the complexities of individual existence, emotion, and the human condition. His work provides a useful framework for understanding how we might navigate the transition from hate to a more profound acceptance and empathy. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, offers valuable insights into how to address hate confirmation from the perspective of a chosen one. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, advises us to focus on what is within our control and to maintain equanimity in the face of what is not. When encountering hate, a Stoic might suggest that we examine our own responses and judgments about the situation. The Stoics teach that it's not external events themselves that disturb us, but our judgments about them. In the case of hate confirmation, the perception of being unjustly targeted or misunderstood is a judgment that can be challenged and reconsidered. Aurelius would likely counsel that the first step in dealing with hate is to understand its nature as an external force that cannot disturb our inner peace unless we permit it. This means recognizing that the hate directed toward the chosen ones is a reflection of the hater's perceptions and judgments, not an objective truth about the worth or value of the chosen ones. Hate, when viewed through this lens, becomes a chance to practice patience, understanding, and forgiveness. Instead of reacting defensively or with reciprocal negativity, the Stoic response involves seeking understanding of the other's perspective and finding common ground where possible. Part 6. The temptation of arrogance and hubris. When navigating the complex emotions surrounding the chosen ones, a subtle but significant threat emerges: the temptation towards arrogance and hubris for both the observer and the chosen ones themselves. For the chosen ones, recognition and reverence can sometimes lead to a sense of superiority. This isn't about blaming them, it's a human reaction to being placed on a pedestal. The real challenge lies in remaining grounded amidst praise and admiration. The ancient Greeks warned against hubris, the excessive pride or self-confidence that often precedes a fall. This wisdom reminds us that everyone, regardless of their status or achievements, is subject to the same human frailties and challenges. Observers, on the other hand, face their own version of this temptation. When envy and resentment are left unchecked, they can morph into a belief that one is morally superior to the chosen ones. This mindset is a form of arrogance, believing that if given the same opportunities, one would act more nobly or make better choices. It's a seductive thought that offers comfort but distances us from empathy and understanding. The key to navigating this temptation lies in cultivating humility. Humility isn't about self-deprecation, it's recognizing our own worth while also acknowledging the value and achievements of others. It's understanding that life's journey is about learning, growing, and contributing to the world in our unique ways. The practice of humility is beautifully illustrated in the parable of the two monks at a river, a story found in various traditions. When faced with the task of helping a woman cross the river, the older monk carries her across, breaking his monastic vows. The younger monk is troubled by this until the older monk explains, "I left the woman at the river. Why are you still carrying her?" This story underscores the essence of humility, acting with compassion and letting go of judgments. Humility also encourages us to embrace our vulnerabilities. Admitting that we don't have all the answers, that we too are learning and growing, can be liberating. It allows us to connect with others in more meaningful ways, fostering a sense of community and shared humanity. In the context of the chosen ones, humility offers a bridge over the chasm of envy and resentment. It invites us to celebrate their achievements as human achievements, to learn from their journeys, and to find inspiration in their stories. At the same time, it reminds the chosen ones that their gifts and successes are part of a larger tapestry to be used in service of something greater than themselves. Part 7. Dealing with the hatred. Facing hatred, especially when it's directed towards oneself or when one observes it targeting others, requires a delicate balance of strength and compassion. This final part of our exploration focuses on strategies and mindsets that help in managing and overcoming such negative emotions. One effective approach is to foster empathy. Trying to see the world from the perspective of someone who harbors negative feelings can be illuminating. It's not about excusing their behavior, but understanding the roots of their emotions. This insight can transform anger into pity or even compassion, recognizing that hatred often stems from fear, insecurity, or pain. Another key strategy involves maintaining perspective. Remembering that the opinions and emotions of others reflect more about them than about you can be freeing. It's crucial to discern what is truly about you and what is a projection of someone else's struggles or biases. Engaging in open dialogue when possible can also be a powerful tool for dismantling hatred. Conversations that come from a place of genuine curiosity and a desire to understand, rather than to convince or win over, can bridge divides and soften hearts. It's about finding common ground, however small it may seem. Self-care plays a critical role in dealing with hatred. Being the target of negative emotions can be draining, making it essential to nurture your emotional and physical well-being. Activities that bring joy, relaxation, and a sense of peace can replenish your strength and resilience. It's also helpful to connect with supportive communities. Surrounding yourself with people who understand, empathize, and offer positive reinforcement can reinforce your sense of self-worth and belonging. These connections remind us that we're not alone in our experiences. Finally, practicing forgiveness can be a powerful step towards healing. Forgiveness doesn't mean condoning harmful actions or forgetting the hurt caused. Rather, it's about releasing the hold that resentment has on your heart, freeing yourself from the cycle of negative emotions. As we conclude this exploration of the emotions surrounding the chosen ones, it's clear that dealing with hatred, whether directed at us or observed in others, is a multifaceted challenge. It requires empathy, perspective, dialogue, self-care, support, and forgiveness. By adopting these strategies, we can navigate the complexities of human emotions with grace and emerge with a deeper understanding of ourselves and others. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, feel free to subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.